Hello dear friends, we are talking about ATmega 3 to 8 microcontroller programming, and we want to look at the quiz that is expected in exams, in interviews, and in your daily life. So we are going to be using C/C++. So question number 1 says, which of the following loop structures is commonly used in ATmega 3 to 8 programming to execute code repeatedly? A is for loop, B is while loop, C is do while loop, D is all the above. So if we are to execute the code repeatedly, don't you think that all of the above is the answer? So the ATmega 3 to 8 microcontroller, like any other microcontroller programmed using C/C++, supports all the three loop structures, the for, while, and do while, and the choice depends on the specific needs of the program. So for is used for fixed number of iterations. The while is used when the number of iterations is unknown, but the condition must be checked before entering the loop. And the do while is used when the code should execute at least once and then repeat based on the condition. What is the correct syntax for a for loop in C for all, for ATmega, for all ATmega program? So now we have A, for int I is equal to 0, we terminate. Then for I, of course, we are saying for I less than 10, then increase or increment I by 1. Then B, for int I is equal to 0, I less than 10, decrement or decrease I by 1. For I is equal to 0 to 10. For I is equal to 0 to 10. So let's look at the correct syntax. If we are using a for loop, we are basically looking at the pattern, okay? The pattern that has one initialization, then we look at the condition and we increment stroke decrement. So if we to look at the ATmega, for the case of ATmega, this loop, of course, from 0 to 9, that is for I less than 10, okay? We are going to see that where you have A, okay, this is going to be a better what? A better answer for you. So which of the following loops guarantees at least one execution of the code inside the loop? Okay, we are talking about a for loop, a while loop, do while loop, and if statement. So if it guarantees at least one execution of the code inside the loop. So we are talking about a do while loop because a do while loop ensures that the code inside the loop is executed at least once as the condition is checked after each execution of the loop. Yes. In ATmega 3 to 8 programming, which statement will cause an infinite loop? While of 0, while of 1, and the for operation that we have there, then both B and C. So both B and C, you'll find that while of 1 and for of that represent infinite loops. So this commonly while 1 continuously checks if 1 is true, which it always is, and for this has no condition, so it runs indefinitely unless broken. So you need to provide a break to avoid this to continuously run. So what is the correct way to break out of a loop in C for ATmega 3 to 8? So you can put exit. Is it a break? Is it continue? Is it a return? So it is a break. Explanation: the break statement immediately exits the loop regardless of the loop's condition. Which of the following will terminate the current iteration of a loop and proceed to the next iteration? So we have exit. Is it continue? Is it return? Is it break? So continue is very important when you're talking about terminating the current iteration of a loop and proceeding to the next iteration. So the continue statement causes the loop to skip the current iteration and move directly to the next iteration. In ATmega 328 programming environment, what happens if you forget to update the loop variable for a for loop? The loop will exit immediately, the loop will run indefinitely, the loop will run once, the loop will run and then exit. So which one? The loop will run indefinitely, and this is very bad. You can't stop it. So if the loop variable is not updated, no increment or decrement, the loop condition may never be met, resulting in an infinite loop. So what is the output of the following loop? This is a program for serial print. Okay. So what is going to be the output? Is it 0, 1, 2? Is it 0, 1? Is it 1, 2? Is it 2? Let's see. It is 0, 1. First of all, it is initializing at 0. And as long as this is less than 3 from 0, less than 3, so you'll find that if I is equal to 1, you skip, then you print. So that means once you reach at 1, you are going to continue and skip the next condition and just print what you have. So once you have started from 0, you have reached at 1, so you will skip the I is equal to 2. And so the answer will be 0, 1. And when I is equal to 1, as we have said, the continue statement is executed, skipping the serial print I for that iteration. And therefore, the numbers are 0 and 1. Yes. So which loop structure is ideal when you do not know how many times the loop should run, but you need to check the condition before executing the loop? Which loop is ideal when you do not know how many times the loop should run, but you need to check the condition? So, for loop, while loop, do while loop, and if statement. So the while loop is the best when the number of iterations are not known in advance, but the loop continues as long as the condition remains true. But remember, you need to check the first condition. So what will the following loop do? You have int I is equal to 0, you do, then increment 1 and serial print. So while I is less than 5, okay, so we want to see what are the values that are going to be printed. Print numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Print numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Print numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, or indefinite loop. The answer is it shall print the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can try this program, write it in C++, and you can try it in Arduino and see what happens. Okay, you can see what happens in the serial monitor, because this is going to print these values in the serial monitor, and without even an hardware, you can be able to test this. So let's look at so that marks the end of our discussion. See you in our other discussions.